Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video I will be taking a deep dive into one of the nation's top edge prospects, Georgia Tech's Keion White. This is a guy who's coming off a great season at Georgia Tech and is generating a lot of buzz as a potential first round pick. If you guys are new to this series, I have done previews on Will Levis, Jalen Carter, and Lucas Van Ness, so if you guys enjoy this one, be sure to check those ones out as well. Before I get into it, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and let me know down in the comment section below, where do you guys think Keion White will play in 2023? Where do you think he gets selected in the 2023 NFL Draft? But without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing that jumps off the page when analyzing Keion White's film is his freakish athleticism. Standing at 6'4", 270 pounds, White has an amazing blend of athleticism and power to his game. At the Combine, White did not test in every drill, but he showed his power in both the broad and vertical jumps and repped 30 on the bench press. He has exceptional strength and has the ability to push back and shed blockers pretty well. Something else that helps him shed blocks is he has extremely long arms for his size, which help him in stretching out to both make a tackle and or a sack, and he's able to use his arm length to help him shed off tackles and generate separation between him and the offensive lineman, and it's a massive strength for him. Another area of his game I like is his speed off the edge. White did not run the 40-yard dash at the Combine, but he has a quick burst off the edge, and that mixed with his strength is a very lethal combination, and he has some pretty incredible physical attributes. White is a primary power rusher at this point, and he can use his speed and his athleticism to make a quick burst off the line to attack the quarterback. Another thing that jumps off the screen when watching film is White's positional versatility. White is more than just an edge prospect. He has the ability to play off the edge, where he took most of his snaps at Georgia Tech, but in some packages he would line up on the inside and he worked really well there. I think he has very good scheme versatility because of this, because one of the most valuable things in the NFL Draft is players who can play multiple positions, and Keion White can do exactly that, and he's pretty darn good wherever he plays. The last strength of White's game is that he's a 3-down player. He would be able to join a team right now and play all 3 downs, and I would not be concerned about that whatsoever. He won't need to be rotated in and out and be a rotational defensive piece, which is something I think teams might like to buy into. He's also a fantastic run defender and can utilize his athleticism and make big plays and swallow up the running backs while in pursuit. There are some concerns with White's game, just like every prospect. He's still extremely raw as a prospect, and it shows. He started off as a tight end with Old Dominion before transferring to Georgia Tech, where he became a pass rusher. There are so many times he will get put in a block and he doesn't have quite that many rushing moves yet in his arsenal. He has a few power moves, he's still working on a spin move and a swim move, but he really has little moves in his pass rushing repertoire. That is concerning, and while sometimes he is able to use his athleticism and his speed to get to the quarterback, that's not always the case. You have to have a nice blend of moves in your arsenal and athleticism, and that just doesn't tell the full picture. You have to be able to make moves. I don't think he's mastered that just yet. Another thing that I noticed when watching White was he sometimes seemed to lack aggression. I know a lot of people have said he's a high motor athlete, and he does show most of the time, but there were multiple instances I would see where it seemed like he would give up on the play a little too early and just kind of stand to the side a little bit. It's not a massive concern, but it was something I would notice from time to time when I was doing my film study. Lastly, White is an older prospect who is now 25 years old. Teams may not want to take the risk on a guy who's 25 when they can get another guy who's 22 and they can develop him a bit more. He's got more to reach his athletic prime, and those are the big areas I think he needs to work on, especially in his technique and his pass rush moves. He has inconsistent technique as well in how he lines up. Sometimes his hand's in the dirt, other times it's at his waist. He needs to improve on his technique and just be consistent with it. He's got the tools there, he's got the physical tools, the speed, the power, the strength. Can he put it all together, blend some moves into his game, and make himself a dominant edge rusher at the next level? I think he's got it in him. You can see it when he plays. He's got that motor most of the time, and I think he's going to be a good player. Keion White, I think, would work best as a 3-4 defensive end. He would be more of an edge rusher in that scheme, and he'll be inside, and I think he would fit extremely well in that role. That's the ideal role for him. If he's in a 3-4 where there's 2 outside linebackers that are rushing, and then he can be that inside pass rusher in the 5-tech. I think that is a dream fit for him, and there are teams in the back end of round 1 that I think could do that, like the Philadelphia Eagles. That's the ideal role for him, but like I said, because he's so versatile on the defensive line, I think he could play anywhere. You could play him in a 3-4, you could play him in a 4-3, you could play him anywhere on the defensive line, and I wouldn't really be worried about it. The NFL comp I have seen going around for him is John Franklin Myers, and I think this is a perfect comparison to Keion White. Very similar size, build, similar ways that they play the game. I really like that for Keion White. I think that is a great comp for him. White is a very interesting prospect. He has some extremely impressive physical traits that teams may want to buy into, but he also has some areas that may be concerning due to his inexperience at the position. In the end, I think a team is going to buy in, and Keion White's physical traits will get him selected within the top 40 of the 2023 NFL Draft.